You might be surprised to learn that just one simple milk choice each day could quietly increase your risk of chronic inflammation, high blood pressure, weak bones, and even memory loss, especially if you're over 65. We're not talking about sugar, not fast food. We're talking about the milk you've trusted for decades. It feels comforting, familiar, but sometimes what feels safe is silently harmful. According to the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition, several milks considered healthy can actually disrupt digestion, spike blood sugar, and accelerate cognitive decline in aging adults. And here's the catch. You feel the effects but rarely suspect your milk. It starts with brain fog, bloating, fatigue. You call it aging, but your morning glass might be the true trigger. In today's video, we'll uncover 3 popular types of milk that may be silently damaging your body, even though they sit in almost every senior's fridge. Then, we'll introduce 3 doctor-recommended alternatives, backed by science to support heart health, brain clarity, and cellular longevity. Stay until the end because the final one is a forgotten secret from the world's longest living cultures. As we age, our metabolism slows, arteries stiffen, and our cells become more reactive to saturated fat, added sugar, and low-nutrient foods. Some milks once considered nourishing can now elevate LDL, increase inflammation, and strain your memory and heart over time. This isn't just getting older. It's your body reacting to the wrong fuel. Let's face it, most people pick their milk by taste, habit, or nostalgia, not based on what aging bodies actually need. Whole milk, packed with artery-clogging fats, condensed milk, a sugar bomb that shocks your insulin and fogs your brain, rice milk, deceptively gentle yet almost no protein, high glycemic, and may contain inorganic arsenic that older kidneys struggle to process. Meanwhile, what does your body really need? Complete plant-based proteins, anti-inflammatory fats, nutrients that support bones, digestion, and brain function. These milks exist, but they're rarely the ones on the front shelf. And once you see what they do for your body, you'll never go back. So what kind of milk is in your fridge right now? If you're not sure, type 1 in the comments. If you've already made the switch, type 0. And if someone you care about still drinks the wrong kind, share this with them today. Because sometimes a small change in your cup can change the next 10 years of your life. Number 1, whole milk, the silent heartbreaker. You've probably heard it all your life. Whole milk is natural. It's the best kind. You may even remember growing up with a cold glass of it on the table, right next to your oatmeal or eggs. It feels honest, wholesome, familiar. But what if that very glass, the one you've trusted for years, is now quietly sabotaging your heart health? Here's what most people don't realize. Whole milk contains over 5 grams of saturated fat per cup. That may not sound like much, but for adults over 65, it's a slow drip of damage. Why? Because as we age, our arteries naturally stiffen, our metabolism slows, and our bodies become less efficient at clearing bad cholesterol. Add daily whole milk to that mix, and you have a recipe for silent buildup, where fats quietly accumulate in the walls of your arteries. According to research from Harvard, older adults who regularly consume whole milk increase their risk of cardiovascular events by up to 18%. That includes heart attacks, strokes, and episodes of silent hypertension, the kind that creep in undetected until it's too late. You may not feel the damage at first. just a little fatigue walking uphill, or catching your breath a bit sooner than usual. But those signs, they're not just age. They could be your heart raising a quiet flag. And it doesn't stop there. Whole milk is also calorie dense, which makes weight management even harder for seniors already struggling with muscle loss and reduced mobility. Extra pounds mean extra pressure on your knees, higher risk of insulin resistance, and more strain on every part of your system. Then there's the gut connection. Many seniors assume the bloating or gas they feel after milk is just normal. But in reality, lactose intolerance increases with age, and your morning milk could be leaving your digestion sluggish, your energy zapped, and your gut health compromised. It's subtle, it's quiet, and that's what makes it dangerous. But here's the real concern. Most people never suspect whole milk because it doesn't taste artificial, because they grew up with it, because it's natural. And yet, it may be the most underestimated health risk hiding in your fridge. If your goal is to stay independent, stay active, and protect your heart long-term, whole milk may no longer be the ally you think it is. So the next time you reach for that familiar carton, pause for a moment. Ask yourself, is this habit feeding your strength or slowly taking it away? And as you'll see in the next segment, there are far better choices that don't just avoid harm, but actively nourish your heart, your memory, and your energy. Let's move forward. Number 2, sweetened condensed milk. There's something unmistakably comforting about sweetened condensed milk. The way it melts into your coffee, turns ordinary desserts into family favorites, or reminds you of holidays with your grandkids. It tastes like tradition, like home. But what if that spoonful of sweetness is more than just a flavor? What if it's a trigger, a hidden trap that slowly drains your clarity and endangers your heart? Most people don't realize just how concentrated condensed milk really is. Just 1 tablespoon contains nearly 10 grams of added sugar, and that's assuming you stop at 1. At gatherings, it's easy to add a bit more to your coffee, drizzle extra over a slice of cake, or use it in recipes passed down for generations. But your body doesn't forget, especially after 60 when insulin sensitivity declines and the brain becomes more vulnerable to sugar-related inflammation. Sudden blood sugar spikes don't just wear down your energy, they silently tax your memory, your focus, and your blood vessels. You may not see the damage today, but it builds day by day in the background until one morning you forget where you left your glasses or why you walked into the kitchen. Research from the National Institutes of Health links chronic sugar intake, especially from liquid or highly concentrated sources, to early cognitive decline and vascular aging. In fact, some researchers now refer to Alzheimer's as type 3 diabetes, due to how sugar overload disrupts insulin signaling in the brain. Let that sink in. A sweet drizzle may feed your nostalgia while starving your neurons. And it's not just your brain. Your heart pays a price, too. Condensed milk, though thick and creamy, is devoid of fiber and overloaded with sugar. This combination has been shown to stiffen arteries, elevate triglycerides, and increase the risk of silent hypertension, all from something that doesn't taste harmful because it tastes like love. But here's where it gets serious. What happens if you keep using it daily, just a little here and there because it's not that much? Fast forward 5 years. You might still enjoy your morning coffee, but now you're on cholesterol meds, struggling with blood pressure swings, and wondering why you feel mentally slower. You wish you'd paid attention earlier. You wish someone told you this. So, let me ask, is that extra sweetness worth losing your clarity for? You don't need to give up the comfort of sweetness. You just need to redefine what comfort looks like. In the next section, we'll explore options that satisfy both your taste and your health without the cognitive consequences. Number 3, rice milk, the seemingly safe choice that fails you. You've probably heard it 100 times, rice milk is gentle. It's easy on the stomach. It's safe for older adults. It's often the go-to choice when dairy doesn't sit well anymore. The label says plant-based, and it feels light in the glass. But what if this safe alternative is actually quietly working against your body's core needs after them? Let's start with what's actually in it. Rice milk is made from milled white rice and water, 2 ingredients that sound harmless. But the nutritional profile tells a different story. It contains almost no protein, no fiber, no healthy fat, just carbohydrates specifically, starch that digests into sugar very quickly. For seniors who need to preserve muscle, protect their kidneys, and manage blood sugar, this is a serious problem. Let's break that down. First, protein. After 60, we begin to lose muscle at a rate of up to 1% per year. Less muscle means less mobility, greater fall risk, slower recovery from illness, and eventually, a loss of independence. Your body needs protein to maintain strength, and it needs it daily. Rice milk, less than 1 gram of protein per cup. That's not support, it's starvation in disguise. Second, blood sugar spikes. Rice milk has a high glycemic index, meaning it enters your bloodstream fast, causing your glucose to spike. This rapid rise taxes your pancreas, worsens insulin resistance, and contributes to energy crashes, mental fog, and weight gain around the belly, a common issue for seniors. You may drink it thinking you're doing something good for digestion, but in reality, you're pushing your blood sugar into dangerous territory with every cup. Third, and most concerning, arsenic. Yes, arsenic. You see, rice plants absorb inorganic arsenic from the soil more readily than most other crops. The FDA and Consumer Reports have both issued statements about rice-based products and long-term exposure risks. This isn't a scare tactic, it's science. Inorganic arsenic, even in small doses, has been linked to kidney stress, liver damage, and higher risks of certain cancers. And seniors, especially those with reduced kidney function, are far more vulnerable to buildup over time. And yet, rice milk remains a top pick for people trying to avoid lactose or cut calories. Not because it's nutritious, but because it sounds safe. Because it's marketed with words like light, natural, and dairy-free. But safe and nourishing are not the same thing. Ask yourself, if you're choosing rice milk because you want something gentle on your system, isn't it worth checking if it's quietly stressing your kidneys, destabilizing your sugar, and starving your muscles? And if the answer is yes, what are the better options? Because there are better options. There are milks designed to build strength, support cognition, stabilize metabolism, and protect organs. You just haven't seen them yet. But in the next section, you will. Number 4, fermented soy milk, strength, balance, and brain power in a glass. Picture this. It's early morning. You're in your garden, sun just peeking over the fence. You bend to trim a few herbs, but your knees creak, your balance wobbles, and you pause. Just for a moment, unsure if you'll need help getting up. What if one simple daily change could help your body feel steadier again? Not a pill, not a workout, just a smarter choice of milk. This is where fermented soy milk enters the picture. It's not the most popular. It doesn't have flashy packaging. But for people over 60, it might be one of the most powerful liquids you can pour into a glass. Here's why. Fermented soy milk is one of the few plant-based milks that provides complete protein, all 9 essential amino acids your muscles, bones, and brain need to stay resilient. And not just any protein. Easily absorbed, high quality, and gentle on digestion. As we age, protein needs increase, but appetite often decreases. Muscle loss accelerates, especially in the legs and core. That's what makes falls more dangerous, fatigue more persistent, and independence harder to maintain. Fermented soy milk offers your body a quiet, steady dose of strength without heaviness or bloat. But the benefits don't stop at muscle. Soy contains isoflavones, plant compounds that protect bone density and mimic gentle forms of estrogen, which is especially helpful for postmenopausal women. Several studies now link these compounds to better memory, reduced brain inflammation, and even lower risk of dementia-related decline. And then comes the fermentation. It's not just for flavor. Fermentation helps break down soy's hard-to-digest components, making nutrients more bioavailable and minimizing bloating. But more importantly, it introduces probiotics, the beneficial bacteria that support gut-brain communication, immunity, and mood balance. Let that settle in for a moment. A single glass can support muscle strength, bone density, memory clarity, gut health, and emotional resilience. Now here's the challenge. Most people don't even know it exists, or they think it tastes weird. But those who give it a try just for a week often say, "I didn't realize I could feel this good again." So here's your micro challenge. Swap out your usual milk for fermented soy milk just for 7 days. Feel the difference in your energy, your digestion, your clarity. It's a small change, but it could be a quiet turning point. And the best part, it fits in your routine. Warm it gently for your morning oats. Blend it into a smoothie. Or sip it plain, like a daily dose of functional nutrition. Next, we'll explore another unexpected milk that brings calm to your heart and ease to your digestion while keeping sugar in check. Because strength is just the beginning. Now, it's time to feel balanced again. Number 5, unsweetened almond milk. Light on the body, powerful for the heart. Every Saturday morning, just as the sun starts to warm the sidewalk, a small walking group gathers at the edge of the local park. No one's racing. There are no heart monitors or fancy gear. Just folks in their 60s, 70s, even 80s walking side by side, sharing updates about grandkids, recent doctor visits, and occasionally, what's in their fridge. And that's where unsweetened almond milk always comes up. At first glance, it doesn't seem like much. It's thin, light, neutral in taste. But for many older adults, that very simplicity is what makes it so effective. Here's what makes it special. First, almond milk, when unsweetened and properly made, contains 0 cholesterol and very little saturated fat. Instead, it's rich in monounsaturated fats, the heart-healthy kind that have been clinically linked to lower LDL cholesterol and improved arterial flexibility. This isn't just theory. According to a 2021 study published in the Journal of the American Heart Association, older adults who consumed diets higher in monounsaturated fats showed better control of blood pressure, more stable cholesterol levels, and lower risk of stroke. Why does this matter? Because after 60, your arteries naturally stiffen and your heart works harder to pump blood through narrower, less flexible pathways. Even small improvements in cholesterol and blood pressure can significantly reduce the risk of serious events, including heart attacks. Now here's the important contrast. Whole milk raises LDL. Condensed milk, loaded with sugar. Rice milk, nutritionally hollow. Unsweetened almond milk, quiet support. Every sip offers a small dose of something your body actually needs without adding what it doesn't. But it doesn't stop at your heart. Almonds are one of the best plant-based sources of vitamin E, a potent antioxidant. Just 1 cup of unsweetened almond milk can provide 40 to 50% of your daily vitamin E needs. And this isn't just about skin or immunity. Vitamin E is one of the few nutrients that directly support brain health, particularly in aging populations. Research from Tufts University shows that seniors with higher vitamin E intake experience slower cognitive decline and better verbal recall and mental clarity compared to those with low intake. So in one glass, you're not just protecting your heart, you're also protecting your memory. What about digestion? Almond milk is naturally lactose-free, casein-free, and gentle on the stomach. For those with bloating, reflux, or irregular digestion after drinking dairy, almond milk offers a simple, soothing alternative that doesn't aggravate the gut. It also pairs beautifully with oats, smoothies, or a warm bedtime drink. Now let's talk lifestyle. This isn't a supplement. It's not a capsule you have to remember. It's a small, tasty ritual you can easily build into your day. And the shift it offers may feel subtle at first: less bloating, fewer afternoon crashes, steadier mornings. But over time, the body responds to this kind of care. It stops defending and starts rebuilding. Still, there's a catch. Not all almond milk is created equal. Many supermarket brands, especially flavored or sweetened ones, contain added sugars, synthetic thickeners, and even inflammatory oils that undo all the benefits. So, in the next part, we'll break down exactly what to look for on the label and which ingredients to avoid at all costs. Because a healthy milk isn't healthy if the fine print betrays you. And your heart deserves more than marketing. It deserves real nourishment. Number 6, fortified oat milk. Comfort for the bones. Calm for the heart. There's a ritual many older adults hold dear: a warm drink before bed. Something gentle, soothing, familiar. And for years, that comfort may have come from a glass of dairy milk. But what if the very drink you reach for to relax is actually quietly working against your bones and heart? Osteoporosis doesn't make noise. It doesn't announce itself like chest pain or joint aches. It arrives silently, bone by bone, day by day, until one small fall becomes a long recovery, or worse, a permanent loss of mobility. After 60, bone loss accelerates. And while calcium supplements are common, they're not always absorbed effectively without proper co-nutrients, especially vitamin D, magnesium, and soluble fiber. That's where fortified oat milk becomes more than just a dairy alternative. It becomes a targeted nutritional ally. Let's look closely. Properly fortified oat milk contains a combination of calcium plus vitamin D2 or D3, often at levels comparable to or better than regular dairy. But unlike dairy, it also includes soluble fiber, specifically beta-glucan, a natural compound in oats that's been studied for decades. According to a 2018 meta-analysis published in Nutrients, beta-glucan helps reduce LDL cholesterol, regulate blood sugar, and improve arterial function. For seniors managing hypertension or early-stage heart disease, this kind of daily support is invaluable. Now imagine this. Instead of a dense, heavy milk that triggers bloating, oat milk offers lightness but with deep functional support. It's naturally free from lactose, casein, and hormones. It's easy on the stomach, and when warmed, offers a texture and taste that's both comforting and medicinal. And the calm isn't just in the taste. Oat milk has been shown to help promote better sleep quality, especially when paired with magnesium-rich foods or calming bedtime rituals. The fiber content supports stable overnight blood sugar, which is key for uninterrupted rest. And unlike sugar-laden milk alternatives, it doesn't spike insulin before sleep. But here's what most people miss. Not all oat milk is created equal. Many brands are not fortified, meaning they provide none of the bone or heart-supporting benefits mentioned. Others are sweetened, turning a healing drink into a metabolic burden. And some contain additives like rapeseed oil or carrageenan, which may irritate sensitive digestive systems. So if you're standing in front of a shelf of options, how do you choose? That's what we'll explore next. You'll learn exactly how to identify the right oat milk, what words to look for on the label, which brands to trust, and how to make this part of your nightly ritual without second guessing. Because the goal isn't just to feel better now, it's to build resilience you can rely on tomorrow. Oat milk isn't flashy, but in the quiet hours of the day when your body is healing, when your bones are rebuilding, when your heart is slowing down, it just might be the most underrated tool in your health toolbox. Bonus: the forgotten longevity milk, a daily ritual from the world's oldest people. We promised you a forgotten milk one that researchers believe may help slow cellular aging. And here it is, fermented goat's milk. Still consumed today in places like Ikaria, Greece, and Sardinia, Italy, where people routinely live well into their 90s with clarity and vitality. Unlike cow's milk, goat's milk is easier to digest, lower in allergenic proteins, and when fermented becomes a natural source of probiotics and anti-inflammatory compounds. Studies suggest it may help support gut health, reduce low-grade inflammation, and promote healthy aging from within. You won't find it on every shelf. But if you come across goat kefir or cultured goat's milk, unsweetened and traditionally made, give it a try. Even just a few sips a day could become a gentle act of longevity. It's not flashy, it's not trendy, but in a world full of processed solutions, sometimes the quietest choices are the most powerful. If you've made it to this point, thank you. That tells me something important about you. You're not just watching. You're ready to make a small shift, ready to choose better. Not just for your heart, not just for your memory, but for your independence, your clarity, your life. Let's look back briefly. We uncovered 3 common milks that may have quietly worked against you: whole milk, sweetened condensed milk, and rice milk. Each one carried something hidden: too much saturated fat, too much sugar, too little nutrition, and too many silent consequences. But we also discovered 3 powerful alternatives. Milks that do more than avoid harm. Milks that nourish your muscles, your brain, your sleep, your calm. Fermented soy milk, unsweetened almond milk, fortified oat milk. And if you stayed for the very end, our forgotten ally from the Blue Zone's fermented goat milk, a quiet tradition that might just help you age with grace. Now here's the truth. None of this matters if it ends here, because information without action is like a glass left untouched on the counter. It looks good, but it does nothing. So here's what I invite you to do. 1. Type 1 in the comments if you learned something new today, something that made you stop and think. 2. Type 0 if you were already ahead of the curve choosing the right milks and feeling the difference. 3. Or, if you're willing to take just one of these swaps and try it for 7 days, type I'm in. Let's see what shifts. Not because it's dramatic, but because consistency is what changes aging from decline to growth. And share this video with someone you love. Someone who still believes all milk is the same. Someone who might not feel the decline yet, but who deserves to know before it's too late. We'll be back soon with a new episode. And if you've ever wondered why so many healthy foods are actually working against your brain after 60s, you won't want to miss what's coming next. Until then, stay kind to your body, because the smallest glass might be the biggest shift your future self will thank you for.